The rain had been falling since dawn. Thick grey clouds covered the sky. The highway looked endless, wet and lonelier. Long truck moved slowly through the rainwater, sprayed from its tires, and sat a man named Jack, a truck driver for more than 15 years. His hands were firm on the steering wheel. His eyes, tired but careful, had learned that the road respected only those who stayed a little. Jack had no family waiting at home. No warm house and miles of road, and the sound of rain as he approached. A sharp curve of his headlights caught something strange. Shadows moving on the side of the road, slowed down through the rain. He saw them, a family walking down. Man, a woman, and 2 small children. They were soaked completely. Thick clothes clung to their body as the children were barefoot, feet red from cold. Jack felt a tightness in his chest. No one walked on a highway in rain like this unless they had nowhere else to go, 'cause past them, without stopping, splashes of dirty water hit their legs. Yet they kept walking. Jack slowed his truck, his heart arguing with his schedule. Finally, he stopped, turned on the hazard lights, and stepped out into the rain. Family froze. Man moved in front of the woman and children, trying to protect them. Jack raised his hands as I just wants a help. His voice was calm. "Where are you heading?" Jack asked. Man hesitated, his voice "We don't know anywhere." Dryth woman kept her eyes down, embarrassment written on her face. Children clung to her, shaking. Jack looked at them. His memories rushed back years ago. He had stood just like them, hungry, wet, and ignorant in the truck. Jack sadeth. Man shook his head. "Have no money." Jack replied he didn't ask for money. After a long pause, man no dead. Thee climbed in inside the truck. It was warmth. Children gasped, soft life. Little girl whispered its warmth. Little boy smiled for the first time. Jack handed them towels. "Dry yourself." Woman whispered, "Think you." As Jack drove, glanced at them. "What happened?" Eddie asked. "Quiet." Lithe man took a deep breath. "He lost my job. Factory shut down. Rent was due today. The landlord threw us out." Woman added, "What? Tried every year. Nano one help." Excellence filled the truck. The rain grew heavier. Jack remembered sleeping in his car years ago. How one stranger had given him a method. One act had changed everything. Amiti's life brings you back to the same row. Just on the other side. They reached the edge of a small town. Jack didn't slow down. "Where are we going?" Man asked nervously. "Somewhere safe." Jack answered. He stopped at a small roadside diner. Inside, it smelled of hot food. Children eyes wide. Edge ordered soup, bread, and tea. They ate slowly at first. Faster. The woman started crying quietly. Man lowered his head. "Who don't know how to thank you?" Smile. "Just eat." After the meal, Jack made a phone call on old friend named Mike. Answered. "Mike, need a favor." That night, family slept in a small motel room paid by Jack. Children slept on clean beds. And warmth. Woman prayed silent. Life next morning took the man to a warehouse. Mike shook his hand. "You start today's." Man could not believe it. Days passed. The man worked hard. Never Latin, never complain it. Woman found work cleaning houses. Children went to school. Jack checked on them when he could. We turned into monks. In rainy evening, Jack received a letter at a truck stop. Inside was a photograph. Family stood in front of a small apartments. Milipal and Killer note Sadeway were walking in the rain with no hope. One man stopped. Own decision changed our lives. Jack folded the letter, keyboard full at Sadair, began to fall again, started his truck and drove forward, watching the road, ready to stop again if needed. The rain returned months later, soft at first, then heavy. Jack was driving the same highway with wipers, moving slow. Life sound familiar as mind drifted to the family toe. The night he stopped, wondered how they were doing. Life often moved on, but some moments stay. At his phone booth said a message from an unknown number. Osa's man wrote, "Hope you remember." Jack pulled over. "Of course I remember." Jack replied. He moved to a better place. Message continued, "Kids are in school. Wanted to see." Uzak smiled. Something warm filled his chest. He agreed to meet at the same diner where it all began. When Jack arrived, saw them instant. Lithe man stood tallest. Trongerger, clean clothes. The woman smirked higher. Eyes no longer filled with furth. Children ran to Jack. Jack the shouted, laughing, kneeling down, hugging them. Inside the diner, they talked for hours. Man spoke that night. "Saved us." Jack shook his head. "You saved yourself." Woman held Jack's hand. "We're broken. You reminded us we matter." Jack felt his eyes burn. Life had not been Easith. Man explained. Job was hard. Some days felt impossible, but they never gave up because someone believed it. Woman say. Jack nodded. Weeks lethargic, fell sick. Years of driving loneliness. Up with him was hot. Room was quiet. Mackins beeped softly. Jack stared at the ceiling, wondering if anyone would visit. Door open. Ed's family walked in. Children ran to him. "You stopped for us?" "No. It's our turn." Man said. "The Stayed every day brought footsteps. Nurses smiled, seeing the lonely driver, no longer a lonely Jack recovered. Slowly when he was discharged, didn't return to the road. Man offered him work at a small transport. A feist Jack accepted. Years passed. The children grew, graduated and became a teacher, thought her a nursed man, opened his own business woman, volunteered helping families in need, watched with pretty own, rainy evening. All stood together, cars pass a drain. Felbit, this Timino one was walking alone. Indecision created a family not by blood but by hardened on that same road. Jack slowed his truck aways, watching gloways ready Becca's, kinescence given ever ends.